We're just two guys with one mission, and we've chosen to accept it for some reason. It's time to tell them what we mean, what we say.
Hello. We just watched Cannibal Apocalypse from 1980.
Yes.
Starring John Saxon and Giovanni Lamberto Radice.
Sure.
And it was directed by some guy.
And who's not good at directing movies.
The cinematography was by another guy. And yeah, it was an interesting. It was a twist on like a zombie movie.
Yeah.
Or like something like The Crazies or something like that.
Yes.
But
it was more of an infection type thing than... Yeah. There wasn't a lot of cannibalism. It was more of a vampiric thing. People get bitten, they then feel the need to bite other people. There wasn't a lot of eating of people, which is what I usually associate with cannibal films. This was more just like I've taken a chunk out of you.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then that person turns into a cannibal, which is vaguely explained as a biological reaction to a psychic phenomenon or something.
Yeah, it's kind
which
of...
is horseshit.
And also, it seems like the gestation period for this virus...
varies wildly.
Was entirely dependent on what needed to happen in the plot.
Yes, exactly.
So, the film opens in Vietnam, because John Saxon and Giovanni Lamberto Radice are soldiers. John Saxon...
And Tommy.
And Tommy, but I don't know, I haven't seen him in other things, so I don't know...
But he was quite important in this.
Yeah, in the end he was. He came quite late.
Yeah, but I mean, he helped out with the escape from the hospital.
Yeah, the
prison, whatever.
But basically, John Saxon is like an army sergeant or whatever, and he sets fire to a bunch of Vietnamese women with a flamethrower, and then rescues Giovanni and Tommy, who are basically eating people.
Yes.
Then we cut back to present time. What?
So, point number one. So, did they turn to cannibalism because they'd been trapped in the foxhole for so long? Or do we think they're infected with this rabid biological or psychic phenomenon?
You think someone bit them and then they became cannibals?
Well, this is never explained.
Well, it's never
they
explained.
Literally just opened the foxhole and they're sat there eating people.
Yeah.
But, I mean, when we were watching it, my first thought was just like, well, yeah, like you've been in a foxhole for ages, nobody's giving you any food, you would just eat whatever's there. If that happens to be, I don't know, a fallen comrade or something like that.
Yeah, you would eat them.
I guess you would.
And you'd probably go a little mad as well.
Yeah, I imagine so.
But that doesn't seem to really be the case.
No.
Oh, there's a bomb dog.
Oh, there is a bomb dog.
There's a bomb dog. There's a dog who comes up who's real friendly, and then he explodes. Anyway, John Saxon seems to have some sort of post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yes. Which
manifests itself in weird dreams.
Yeah.
And kind of having a strange relationship with his wife. So they basically.
Well, I think
it started to affect his life a little.
Yeah, I think the strange relationship is because he's clearly suffering from PTSD.
Yeah, but he gets bitten by Tommy when he's trying to rescue him out of the foxhole, but for some reason his cannibalistic tendencies don't arise until he's presented with a very young girl who lives next door.
Well, he starts kind of licking his lips a little when he sees the meat in the fridge that has blood dripping from it.
Do you think he was licking his lips? I think he was disgusted
thinking,
by it. I want to eat meat.
I don't know why I'm feeling this way, but this raw meat's getting me going.
Well, it's like a really strange plot point to like have him go, I'm going to bite this little girl.
Yeah, I mean, that is odd. The little girl coming onto the old man is a bit odd in the first place.
I mean, I wouldn't find it that odd in stories. That has happened in stories where you get like a young lady and she's attracted to the older man.
Your American Beauties and such.
Yeah, stuff like that. But this went nowhere.
Yeah, nowhere at all.
Except
it looked like he was going to start kissing her on the belly.
Yeah, but he didn't.
Helpfully exposed for him, and then he just bites her.
He bites her. So that's the thing.
But she seems to get off on that, as we find out later.
Yeah.
She's like, nobody's ever bitten me like that before.
Well, that's because she's a child. Presumably, no one's bitten her.
I guess.
But it's really hard to say.
I got bitten a lot as a kid. I was just fighting at that, though.
Oh, you're just fighting. Not once did I go to the guy who punched me in the face going, never got punched in the face like that.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate. I think you really awoke something in me. Thanks.
Now I'm going to get off on a big punch to the face. Although I have met some girls like that.
I think we've all met some people who've got some thing. Anyway, there's Giovanni calls up, and his name is Bukowski. Charlie Bukowski.
Charlie Bukowski.
In a thinly veiled homage to something that it doesn't really relate.
It doesn't relate to anything.
Unless he was a cannibal and we didn't know about it. Yeah. Which is likely, I suppose.
Or in the film, Charlie Bukowski was... He's drinking and fucking, which he doesn't seem to be into those things.
No, he comes across a motorcycle gang.
Well, yeah, but
he doesn't interfere with them while they're harassing young ladies.
No, we snap to present day, and he's trying to get in contact with John Saxon.
Yeah, with John Saxon. Hopper.
And he wants to go for a drink, and then at some point during the conversation, Saxon goes,
"No, I can't do it."
Oh, wait, you used to be people. I'm not into that. So it breaks off the date.
Yeah.
So Charlie
catches a movie.
Yeah.
As you would. But then when it gets in the movie, this young couple come in and they start going at it pretty heavy in the cinema. And as they're going at it, Giovanni decides he's going to involve himself and bites her on the neck and then runs.
Yeah.
And then next thing we know, he's barricaded himself in a disused flea market that sells guns.
and
mattresses.
Beds and assorted knickknacks.
But it's America, you know. I can imagine they're like, oh, I need to buy sheets for the bed. Oh, and pick up some ammunition. Because
America.
Because that's how America works, apparently. Even in 1980, people were like, oh, you know what I really need? Candy floss?
Yeah, a lie down
and grenades.
A lie down and a shotgun.
Anyway, then he kills a bunch of people, and then there's a standoff, and John Saxon goes in there to talk him out of it, and reminds him that in order to get rid of tear gas, you have to urinate on it, which is a useful bit of information. Should you ever be caught in a standoff and need to get rid of the tear gas?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. So it's useful. Next time I'm
in some sort of austerity riot, I'm just going to whip my dick out.
Yes. Which
tear gas or no?
Honestly, I would never have thought of it.
No.
Of removing my penis, my organ, should we say? removing my organ from its holster in order to get rid of tear gas. I never thought step back, everyone. I got this.
Step back, everybody. I've been drinking water all afternoon.
I am well hydrated, and now I can deal with this threat. And then we can fight the fascist pigs, thanks to my dong. All right, here we go. So then they capture Giovanni Lamberto Radice and they put him in this hospital prison. Yeah. And then he sees Tommy, and then they kind of orchestrate this kind of improvised escape.
Yeah.
Where a young lady gets bitten, and then we find out that the cannibal virus can be passed on through bites.
Yes, because science.
And then the plot goes really weird because we don't, basically everyone who got bitten 10 seconds ago starts turning into cannibals, yet John Saxon, who got bit
X amount of years ago.
Clearly in the 70s, when the war was going.
Possibly even the 60s.
Possibly even the 60s. It could have easily been over a decade that he'd been bitten, and he was generally fine. Some people, 10 seconds, they're pulling out people's hearts.
Yeah.
So the nurse who gets bit, John Saxon, Tommy, and Giovanni Lamberto Radice team up, and then they basically fight their way through the cops and the biker gang.
And then the biker gang outside again.
And then they go into the sewers where they get picked off one by one. And then...
and set fire to.
And then...
It's a brilliant effect where Charlie gets shot through the stomach.
Yeah, Charlie gets shot through the stomach. John Saxon escapes kind of just fine. He just kind of wanders off in the... he gets shot in the testicle.
Oh, he gets shot in the nards, yeah.
And he kind of struggles off. He's like, oh, that smarts a bit.
Yeah, I'll climb up this disused shaft.
Yeah, with my legs.
With my nards bleeding everywhere.
Gets home, puts his uniform on, as you do.
Top half of it, not the bottom half.
Was he not wearing the bottom half of the uniform?
He was still in his gnarled bloody trousers.
So he just put his jacket on with the medals?
And his hat. He put his army hat and jacket on, but not his trousers.
So strange.
Anyway, the wife comes home.
Then this Dr. Phil Mendes.
Who there's a subplot of maybe there's something going on between the wife and Phil Mendes.
Yeah, but it's not fully explored given thing. It's just casually referred to.
They just hang out a lot of the time and Saxon's paranoid about it.
And then the cops pull up outside John Saxon's house. We hear gunshots, and then we see the young girl from the beginning with a kind of a evil face on, and then we realise that
there's still a
her
cannibal
caretaker has been put in the fridge, and both the kids are cannibals. And then the credit rolls, and you feel a little bit disappointed by the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean the disappointment doesn't start there. It starts about 10 minutes into the film.
It was a little... No, because I'd say 10 minutes into the film,
it's really
you've
slow.
already had some people being set on fire.
Yeah, but that's... but it's when you snap back to...
You've already had Bomb Dog.
Yeah, but then you snap back to present-day America, it's just like the amount of Charlie just roaming around and sat in the shop waiting to get shot, which never happens, and it's just...
It's boring. It's a bit boring.
Yeah.
Which is strange.
For a film called Cannibal Apocalypse.
You're thinking, this shit's gonna go off.
Yeah. You would think at some point, if this is like a viral thing, it's gonna spread and it's gonna be...
it just gets worse. And
apocalyptic.
Yeah, but it doesn't. It kind of stays within these people.
It's about 20 people at the most.
I don't think even that. We can probably count them all. Like, the little girl and her brother. There's John Saxon. There's Giovanni Lamberto Radice. Tommy. The nurse. Phil Mendes.
Couple of cops.
There's cops. Just one cop.
Was it just one cop?
And the woman who had got bitten by the cop.
Yeah.
There's 9. 9 is not an apocalypse.
No. Not by any stretch of the imagination.
9 is...
not even a football team.
I'd say it might be an epidemic.
I don't think that class is an epidemic, does it?
Outbreak? A situation.
Outbreak.
An outbreak. Yeah.
Skirmish.
Cause for concern.
Cannibal skirmish.
Cannibal issue.
Yeah.
Biting issue. It's not even cannibal.
It's not even cannibal.
It's spate of biting.
Yeah. Because really the only people that we ever see proper chowing down, I think, is 3.
Yeah.
There's Tommy and Radice at the start.
Yeah.
And then, like, one other...
And the cop.
Yeah. Everybody else is just bite, done, laters.
Do they even... Like, there's a bit when Giovanni Lamberto Radice cuts off this guy's leg... And do they eat the leg?
I don't think they even eat that, do they?
They just cut it off.
Yeah.
In a really weird way.
Yeah, they cut it up for seemingly ages with a circular saw. He makes a real...
He makes pig's ear. Pig's ear. I think
a real ham of it.
A real ham.
It did look a lot like ham with some blood on it.
Do you think it was ham? It was...
Something with a bone in it. It looked like ham bone. So, so that was that. Boring as shit. I mean, a couple of the effects were alright.
Yeah, I think actually...
Like, ham bone leg was good, the stomach thingy was good. I guess we'll get to that in a minute. But other than that, not an apocalypse, not much cannibalism in a film called Cannibal Apocalypse. Judge that how you will. But,
okay, so, for story, what would you give it?
I mean, technically it had a through line. It had a plot.
Yeah, but I don't think the story's particular. For me, it's like I'm going to score it quite low because the story, it wasn't very interesting.
Yeah, I was still going to go like a 2 or something.
Yeah, I was going to go with a 2.
2 because there is a story, you can follow it, but it's not very good.
Yeah. For gore, what would you give it?
See, now I'll go 3 on that because actually like I said, the stomach, like the camera through the stomach shot, the death becomes her.
Yeah, the death becomes her.
That kind of shot, that was pretty impressive. It took us at least 3 seconds to work out how they did it, which is pretty good.
Yeah, you thought about it. And
there was the really funny white man who suddenly was made out of clay eye gouge. Yeah. That's pretty funny.
I might even go a little bit higher. I might even give it a 4 because I actually quite liked the gore from...
Bomb Dog was good.
Bomb Dog, well, wasn't. I wouldn't say that was a particularly gory scene.
No, I suppose.
But I would say that, like, when people were getting, like, fucked up and bitten...
Yeah, I mean, the bites looked pretty good.
Yeah, it was all, like, all pretty good.
It wasn't like a bit of paint on the neck.
Yeah.
Like you get with some. There was some sort of kind of viscera to it. So I'm sticking on 3, though.
You're sticking on 3?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't brilliant.
And for creativity?
Nah, it wasn't very creative. It just kind of plodded along, though. I guess the Vietnam vet, PTSD... I mean, they were going something with the biological problem caused on by psychic anomalies.
Yeah,
malarkey.
but that's bullshit.
I mean, yeah, but it's trying something at least.
Well, I think it's basically like... They tried to do, like, a zombie outbreak... What was the movie I mentioned at the beginning?
This would have
Crazies.
Been, yeah, like this would have been way better as a zombie movie than Cannibal movie.
Like as a Crazies type thing, I could see that they were trying to do something a little bit different, but it wasn't different enough for me to score it any more than 1 point.
Yeah.
For me, 1 point from me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess.
You're gonna go for the same?
Yeah, because actually, They could have just made it a fucking zombie movie and it would have made way more sense. Bit of grey paint on somebody. Zombies instead of cannibals that don't eat people. Again, it could have been zombies, or it could have been fucking vampires.
Yeah, and then at least maybe you've got the idea of the gestation period of why it took like a decade for them to like get really into it.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be like the year
They'd
after.
literally just come back.
Like,
There was some mention of time where Tommy and Giovanni Ribisi had been in a hospital, and that's why they hadn't seen John Saxon.
Yeah, he got day release.
Where were you when I was in the hospital?
Yeah, but that, like...
But how long have they been in the hospital?
Yeah.
That's the thing. So at the very least, they'd come back from Vietnam and been in the hospital for X amount of time. So at the very least, is I think I can't remember for definite. I think it said 8 months, something like that.
Yeah, but still 8 months gestation period.
Yeah. When some people were like,
are you scoring out of 1 by the way on creativity?
Yes.
Sorry, that's just so I know because I got to write down.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we'll go with 1.
For the logical sense,
No.
You're giving it none.
Yeah, because actually the biological triggered by cycle that's fucking horseshit.
It was stupid.
It's fucking horseshit.
It was stupid, and like it was like I don't know why any of this is happening.
No.
Or why is it happening now?
And again, easily fixed with zombie or vampire. Because you've got all that lore behind it, whereas cannibals are just people who fucking eat people.
This is how they should have done it, right? As soon as they rescue Giovanni Ribisi, as soon as they rescue him and Tommy, they basically fall into a coma.
Yeah, okay.
And they basically can ship them all back to the US, where they're placed in a hospital, and then they wake up, and also, but then they find out that John Saxon's been locked up the whole time because he turned immediately, and he's been like,
okay,
like they're malnourished.
But then you don't have the wife and the next door neighbour.
No,
and
but you don't need any of that stuff. Like this is my problem with the whole thing. They could have just done it on a military base, at one location, if they wanted to save money.
But then you don't get the best character in the entire film, which is the chief of police.
There's no reason why you can't have
the dude with the Mac in the hat is.
There's
awesome.
no reason why you can't have the chief of police.
He was amazing.
Anyway.
Also, I don't get why half of it's dubbed when they could
Because that's Italian.
English.
That's how Italians make movies.
Yeah, but half of it's not.
Because that's how Italians make movies.
Alright.
It's just the style of the time. Okay, for the music.
Brilliant.
Yes,
Brilliant.
the music was really good.
I'm going to go a 4 on that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to join you on a 4.
Because it veers between kind of blaxploitation soul stuff, which was super funky,
and like proper disco.
There was a lot of disco in there, but there was also a lot of, and this is a weird reference, interstitial Welcome to My Nightmare, Alice Cooper, late 70s, early 80s kind of jazz rock kind of stuff. It was just
there was definitely there was definitely
that.
stuff in there.
Right.
And I really liked it, and I think the music was what kept me engaged.
If you take that off, I would have been fucking done with this after about half an hour, 20 minutes, half an hour.
Yeah, like the fact that it was funky helped a lot.
And I would have liked, I would have even been more interested in had they kept the war bit going longer, because that setting is always fun for me, frankly. But yeah, the music was great.
Alright, for a total score of 21 out of 50.
Okay, less than average. It seems high. I mean, the music fucking saved that.
Yeah. yes, it did. Would you recommend it?
Fuck no. No, it's boring. The effects were good, but it's not enough to recommend to somebody. The music you probably get from somewhere.
Yeah, just buy the soundtrack album and listen to that.
Yeah.
Unless you're a really big Giovanni Lamberto Radice fan, in which case you might get a kick out of this because he's quite good.
Or a big John Saxon fan because he gives the exact same performance he gives in every film he's ever done.
Yeah, it's good. It's good John Saxon. He's
surly, like he always is.
Surly and troubled.
Yeah, he does that well.
All right, that's it.
All right, cheers.
Okay, bye then.
Bye.